Good morning. Welcome back. You're still watching Daybreak on this 21st day of May 2024. I want to introduce the panelists here. We have Robert Mbui, the Member of Parliament for Kathiani constituency, also the Deputy Minority Leader of the National Assembly. Good morning. Morning, Sam. Stephen Dishu is a former Speaker of the Kiambu County Assembly, but also former Member of Parliament for Juja constituency. Good morning.
Good morning, Sam.
Have you been here before?
Many times.
No, on Daybreak?
Sometimes back.
Okay.
Quite some while, yeah.
Okay. Welcome back there.
Yeah, thank you.
After such a long break.
Yeah.
How's it going?
Well, it's not easy, it's not comfortable, it's tough.
What's happening?
Well, you are Kenyan and you know it.
Okay, we'll talk about that.
Right.
So we are still expecting John Kagusha is the Member of Parliament for Mukurweini constituency. But remember, he's also a former Speaker of the Nyeri County Assembly, so he'll be in good company with the Honorable Ndishu here. And over the weekend, a lot of things have happened, including those voices in Endarasha of leaders speaking for Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, but also Limuru III, the declarations that were, and also the questions about the finance bill of 2024. If you look at the papers this morning, Ruto starts US visit. He'll have various engagements in his 4-day visit is the main story on the Daily Nation. But they're also talking about Gachagua fights back, that the DP allies have alleged a plot within the ruling Kenya Kwanza alliance to undermine the DP's authority, vowing to defend him. If you look at more stories, Kenya 2022 poll losers now eye key seats in UDA polls. Some of the poll losers who defected from their parties to join President Ruto's UDA party have entered the battle for key party positions with an eye on the 2027 general elections. And look into the issues raised by striking teachers, state urged, and President's palace hit in foiled DRC coup attempt. The army in DRC foiled an attempted coup after gunmen tried to attack homes of senior government officials, including that of President Felix Tshisekedi. On the front page of the Standard, as Ruto flies to meet Biden, Kenyans face gangs of Haiti. President William jetted out of the country yesterday and is expected to cut trade deals with the U.S. and raise his profile. But in a few days, police officers will fly to Haiti to rein in lawlessness, a move opposed by many, including Kuro Court, who has gone to court to challenge that move, saying that it is unconstitutional. And the Law Society of Kenya is also adding his voice against that deployment. Do not belittle DP, Mount Kenya leaders tell Ruto. The leaders say enough is enough on the humiliation Rigathi Gachagua has suffered in government, and one of their many options that should it be necessary, then they will be taking them. Now, shortly, I want us to talk about the declarations from the Limuru III meeting. And, of course, those resolutions that also decided that moving forward, the spokesperson of the region will be former President Uhuru Kenyatta. Let's first listen to a clip here that talks about what transpired there.
That we, the people of the region, have resolved that we shall unite under one umbrella movement to safeguard our interests and to speak as one mountain with one voice.
The allocation of national resources must be equitable and guided by our one man, one vote, 1 shilling policy.
1 man, 1 vote, 1 shilling is the policy that they're advocating for. Honorable Ndishu, help us walk through some of those resolutions that you made, but also the justification for them, because many say that the country is in a particular situation, but also blame Mount Kenya region because, like you will see shortly, they are claiming that majority of the positions in government are held by people from the region.
Well, it could be so, Sam, but the baseline question is not about the positions that are held by people who are hailing from Mount Kenya region. I think the whole issue is about the common man and how he is benefiting. There could be many people and senior people from Mount Kenya region, including the Deputy President and about 8 ministers or cabinet secretaries, for that matter. But The issue here is about Wajiko, the man down the pyramid. Is he benefiting from that big number of senior government officials in the government? The answer is no. Everybody is suffering. And actually, it's not Mount Kenya region only. This is a national issue. This is a Kenyan problem. It's not only people from Mount Kenya region who are suffering, but the entire population of this country, including my friend from Kathiani in Ukambani. They are also suffering. It's not only people from one region. Right. But what we are saying as a region is that we want to start a conversation which is going to spread over the whole country and where everybody will come on board. And as Kenyans, we team up to fight for the common Kenyan person out there.
Right. Teaming up to fight for the common person out there. So help us understand, because we had had a lot of allegations ahead of the meeting, including some that you may remember of the Cabinet Secretary Moses Kuria talking about the sponsorship. Just talk to us about the organization of that meeting leading to those resolutions. Who was behind it? And when you're talking about those resolutions, to what effect do they have?
First of all, I would like to dispel the rumors that was peddled, even by my friend Moses Kuria, that there was any one person who funded that meeting. I was one of the principal organizers of the Limuru III conference, and we struggled raising funds. Actually, I think even now we have got some funds at some debts that we have not paid. When I saw him saying that somebody has paid 10 million shillings, I said, God, you mean somebody can lie on the screen? But I said, this is a nation now of lies, and anybody lies to you to your face on the screen without looking down. That was a blatant lie. There was nobody who funded Limuru III. We raised that money ourselves. It was not even enough. I think some people have not even been settled. And so there was nobody who funded that meeting, including the suspicion that the former president, Uhuru Kenyatta, was behind it. Uhuru just heard about the planning of Limuru III some 1 or 2 months back. And he said, people are free to do whatever they want. I have nothing to say either for or against it. Let people do what they want. So there was this was an initiative of people from the Mount Kenya region, including ourselves who are former members of parliament, Mother, Governor Mureithi, Jeremiah Kioni, and the former member for Gatondo North, Mheshimiwa Patrick Kariuki Muiruri. And we came together and said, unless we start something, even if we are few of us, let's start it. Let people come and join it later. And I said, I was there in 1991 when we started the second liberation of the Ford. And it was started by very few people. But later on, as the bus or the train left the station, many people joined in. And even people, I've seen people saying that we are very few, we are nondescript. It doesn't matter, provided the train left the station. It will go collecting passengers as it goes along. Okay. And so let me dispel the notion that there was any single person. I saw even them talking about the DP, Rigathi Gachagua, having funded. It was not true at all. That was just to kupaka Gachagua matope for no apparent reason. He was not part of it. Okay. And you remember even he was castigating it before things happened. I don't know what happened. He was even against the meeting, even asking, when you pass the resolutions, where shall you take the resolutions? Bring them, come to me, Mother, come to me, Kion, come to me with your organizers, tell me what is the problem. I am in government. It was sorted out. So Gachagua was not in part of it.
And you didn't think that was a good option to follow?
You see, let me say this, Sam, from the onset. From Mount Kenya region, we have two groups of leaders or people. There's those in government, and there are those in the opposition. That was a purely opposition event and meeting. Government has got nothing to do with it. And therefore, there was no point of even Gachagua coming or even... Actually, I told Moses, this is an opposition event. You are in government. We are meeting because of the atrocities and tragedies that you government have caused to our people. So what are you coming to do there? And I gave him the analogy of goats and hyenas. There's no way hyenas will go to a meeting of goats when the goats are talking about how they have been mauled, and therefore what would be their business. So I told him, please keep off. This is not a government event. We want nothing. And answering even what the deputy president was asking, and even in Shongwa, Dede Nyoro, my friend, where are you going to take those resolutions? And we told them we shall take them to the parliament of Wajiko. Even in 1990-91, when there was agitation for a multi-party, the same question was asked by Kamodo, I remember. And we told him, this has got nothing to do with you in government. We are going to take this to the parliament of Wajiko. And surely, we took it to Wajiko. Okay. And Wajiko brought help to multi-party to come in.
Last time I checked, Honorable Ndishu, before I get to Honorable Mboi, yes, you are a member of UDA.
Even now, I'm a member of UDA. Actually, in that meeting, at Limuru III, when people are being introduced in their parties, they said there was that one opposition parties that were organizing that. I raised my hand, I said, no, there are that two. I am from UDA, and I've come here to represent the UDA, members from Mount Kenya region who are aggrieved. And Honorable Gachagua says we were 47%. And therefore, I said, I am from UDA. I have come to express our disgust, our disappointment that the party that we helped to bring to power has turned against us through overtaxation, through harsh and hostile environment situation. So I am from UDA even now, and nobody can kick me out of it. It's my democratic right, constitutional right, and political right to belong to the party that I want to belong to. And I'm from UDA. Yes.
Okay, Honorable Mboi, what do you make of the Limuru III resolutions, but also the meeting and the agenda? Because one of the resolutions is that we shall work to, not we, but the meeting, we shall work together, we shall work toward uniting the region in all the three thematic areas, political, economic, and socio-cultural. What is your reading of this meeting?
First, Sam, that one you just read is also eerily similar to exactly the reason why GEMA exists, the association of GEMA. They exist for coming together to deal with issues, political, socio-economic, basically matters. I think for me, when I heard of this arrangement for people of the mountain to come together, I realized it was, in my opinion, I think it's a, excuse me, it's a vote of no confidence, possibly in the regime. Remember that the Kenya Kwanza administration got almost half the votes they got in the whole republic from that region. And when you see that region agitating and complaining, then it means that clearly the promises that were being given to the rest of us also around the country have not been fulfilled. You remember this is a regime that came into power on a common man, agenda. Right. And they talked every day on top of fuel guzzlers. They kept saying they're the ones who understand the language of the common man. They kept saying that this government will be formed by the Mamamboga, by the Wanjiko, by the Boda Boda. And immediately they got into office, they forgot all that. And they've spent like almost 2 years and done everything possible to make sure that the life of Mamamboga and Boda Boda is completely frustrated. So I think it was inevitable that where they got the most votes, the people there would revolt and tell them we are unhappy about how you're running the country. We also, in our own other regions, we are also uncomfortable. It's just that we haven't gotten together to also come and air our views. But the truth is Sam, if I was from the mountain, I would also be very disgruntled. You remember there was a proposal that was under the former President Uhuru Kenyatta of BBI. BBI was actually looking at that aspect of one man, one vote, one shilling. And the idea is that as long as an area is highly populated, then obviously you have to, money should also follow the people. And somehow I'll tell you this, this is an issue that has been canvassed for a long time. Right. But if you look at how money is shared, for example, let's talk about something basic like bursary. if you have money and you have many people and you want to give bursary, chances are that if you have fewer, then you'll be able to give more money per child. Now, in the mountain region, even the governors, when they attempt, and the members of parliament, when they attempt to give bursary, they only end up giving 2, 3, 4, 5,000 shillings. There are other areas in this republic where the amount of money given, they can educate a child and pay for them air tickets. Because there's a lot more money by, compared to the number of learners. So basically, this was one of the things that were being, propagated by the BBI. But the team of then Deputy President William Ruto was actually against it. Now, later on, we thought that maybe he would try and implement it, but he hasn't. So I think the mountain must be very disgruntled. They're probably waiting for 2027 to make a change. And I think Limuru III was that indication that in the next election, we are moving on. And I think that's a stride in the right direction. One of the things we'll talk about today is a finance bill. Because we must.
Right.
And I'll tell you, Sam, that if you look at the finance bill of 2023, which was the first one done under the leadership of William Ruto, and the one that is coming up now, 2024, then clearly you can tell that this is a regime that does not really care for Mwananchi. This is a regime that doesn't care for Kenyans. And obviously, as a result of that, then the people have to speak for themselves. And that is what the mountain is doing.
All right, so they also agree to form a coalition, and I want us to listen to that and what exactly that should be.
The people of this region have noted with concern the deliberate efforts by the Kenya Kwanza regime to economically, politically, and socio-culturally eliminate, emasculate, deprive, and impoverish them through the regime's oppressive, draconian, and autocratic policies similar to those of the colonial era.
We reserve the right to continue to highlight all issues that are negatively affecting our people.
So, Honorable Ndisho, that coalition is to be called Haki Coalition?
Yeah, that is the name that we adopted, at least for that particular moment.
Okay.
But maybe it can be improved, can be amended.
All right.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. I just wanted to be sure about that because I've seen other articles talking about a Hadi coalition.
Yeah.
So is it a Hadi or Haki?
Haki, not a Hadi.
Okay. All right. Now, the Member of Parliament for Mukurweini constituency joins us now. Honorable John Kagusha, good morning.
Good morning, Sam.
We are so far into the discussion. You have missed so much, but anyway, we'll try and see if we can catch up. And we're talking about the lessons from Limuru III, the declarations that were arrived at there. I don't know if you have any views in regards to that particular meeting, but also what they say there has been atrocities by the current administration to Kenyans, but also specific to the region that was some of the leaders were meeting in Limuru.
Yeah, my perspective of the Limuru III is that is really abuse of the Limuru III platform. Or the Limuru platform. In the past, the Limuru I and Limuru II were platforms that were used by the Mount Kenya people to make far-reaching decisions and steps towards political unity, socio-cultural issues. And what I have seen happening in the last 1 week is really is way below what the Limuru III or the Limuru process has been in the past.
How so?
Ordinarily, before people get to the Limuru process, they will normally have done a lot of consensus building around the country and around the Mount Kenya region. They normally have a common stand that they plan to achieve. And by the time they are getting to the Limuru process, it is a matter of declaration of what that stand is. But then now, what I saw last week was really a little bit more hurried process of a few individuals. And largely, if you look at them, are people who either lost in the last election or are in one way or another disgruntled within the Kenya Kwanza government fraternity. And for that reason, then you can see it is a process of a few people who are not satisfied or are not in government, so to say. And if you look at, for example, the outcome of coming up with the name Haki Coalition, then one of the questions that you are going to be asking is, what coalition? Is coalition of who? Is coalition with who? You know? Is it a political party that they plan to form? Or really, what is this coalition? Who is coalescing with who in this case? So that is one of the questions that comes to my mind. The other issue is, if you look at these people, you will see that largely most of them are also people who are in the Jubilee, either A or B. I don't know whether the one for Kioni is one.
Jubilee,
there's a Jubilee for Kioni and then there's a Jubilee for Sabina. So you find the ones who are in the Kioni Jubilee arrangement and Mother Karua now who is in Kenya are the ones who are there. So you ask yourself, are they abandoning the Jubilee now for Haki? Or what is it that they want? The other issue is, they could have one or two legitimate issues they raise, and I think
like what?
The best, I mean, when they are looking at the issues of the finance bill, which many people have been looking at and seems to have favoring, different sides. There are a few things that they raise in the finance bill that they say that need to be addressed. But I wonder, is Limuru place the place to go and address those issues, or is it to call the leaders who are elected and who have the voice on these issues and have a meeting with them and have a discussion around the issues that they think?
Is there anything that bars people from having conversations wherever? You can have, but we are looking at also the expected results. It really is their democratic right to have a meeting of that nature, and it's okay, but I'm only saying that what they did is an abuse of the Limuru process, because the Limuru process normally is quite loaded. It is normally a culmination of consensus building process across the Mount Kenya region. But this one is hurried. You did not hear of any town hall meeting anywhere in Nyeri. There was no town hall meeting anywhere in Kirinyaga. Neither did you hear of any consensus building or even any issues that were discussed. Neither did you even see any. Neither did you even see any elected leaders. I mean, the elected leaders that were there were just very few of them, who also are disgruntled in Kenya Kwanza government. So really, what you'd have also expected to see, if these guys are genuine and they really want to help their people, as they say, they ought to pick out areas, for example, in the finance bill that they think need to be addressed. And then when they pick them up, let them have a meeting. They can maybe start with the members of... I want us to take a short break, but I want to hear direct
Maybe you would have allowed me to complete my point. No, but you have cut my point.
We need to take a break. I need to get some quick response from Honorable Ndisho, then we'll continue.
But I have not completed my statement.
Honorable Kausha will give you an opportunity.
I was saying,
Honorable Ndisho, tell me, because now there's that question about who are these people, a coalition of who?
Yeah, let me answer him. And it's good, it's unfortunate that Honorable Kausha I wish he was there when we started, because his concerns, I had already addressed them. But let me, for the sake of him to be in tandem with us, he asked coalition for what? There are 31 political parties from Mount Kenya region who met at Limuru. And I was the 32nd party, which is UDA, because I have said much more that me, I'm in UDA, and I'm representing the disgruntled elements in UDA to be that two political parties that met at Limuru to have the Haki coalition. So this is a coalition of that two political parties from Mount Kenya region. That's number one. Number two, you talked about Jubilee A and Jubilee B of Kioni and Sabina, and you're asking now which is which. I said before you came that this is a purely opposition event and meeting. We are meeting because the government has oppressed not only those who are opposed it, but even those who voted for it. And Mweshimo from Kadian said 47% of the votes that made this government win are from that region. And 47% of the people from that region are currently disgruntled because of the way the government has really treated us. Yamusho, he has said that we should raise those things like in the finance bill and then we take to them, to Parliament. We have every right that you have said. It's a democratic right of Kenyans. It's in the constitution to meet either singularly or in a group of people to discuss about their issues. And Mheshimiwa Kagusha, as I said, where we shall take our issues when we discuss them at Limuru III is to the parliament called Wanjiku Parliament. And finally, to bring you to speed, we started Limuru III, which you are saying that we abused. That was the launching pad. And I said before you came that was the train station. The train already left that station. It is headed to Kiambu, to Nyeri, to Murang'a, Tharaka Nithi, Embu, Meru, Nanyuki, Nyandarua, and Nakuru, and all the... Let me finish by saying what Mheshimiwa... No, let me finish, Mheshimiwa, that...
We'll need to take a short break because it's past our time for that. We'll be back with more, including the heat that is coming from some leaders from the Mount Kenya region. Looks like it's a Mount Kenya issue. This morning, they are saying that Deputy President is being mistreated. We're back in a moment.